Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Come on in. Take these out. Uh, Come on in. And when you come in, please hit the like button. We have a special guest coming on tonight. We cannot wait to we finally got an attorney on. And we get to hear from her tonight. So you guys come in, hit the like button. Don't forget to hit the like. And also go follow Court of Public Opinion. And get on in here. Come on in. Come on in, y'all. Let me see. The Public Opinion Court. I had it wrong. The Public Opinion Court. So we're going to just get this straight right now. Go back to banner. Okay. I get it. Welcome, everybody. Come on in. Our guest is here, y'all. So if you guys come on in, I'm going to drop the link also in the chat. Yes, Oklahoma, we did it. Yes, Montana. We up in here. They put us on the map. So I hope you guys brought your questions for I need 1 second, y'all. She is here. Our guest is here. We like to start on time. We're just going to allow a few more people to come in and we'll get started right away very shortly, okay? Very shortly. Let me go. I'll be right back. All right, you guys, good evening.
Good evening. Let me take my stuff.
Hey, Harlem. Hey, everybody. When you come in, say hello. Don't forget to go over and follow the Public Opinion Court on YouTube and on IG. And then she'll tell you the rest. But just make sure we're following her.
Hold on. It's not letting me turn my camera on.
Okay, we no hurry. Uh-oh. How's everybody tonight? Don't forget, you guys, when you come in to hit the like, we're just going to wait for her to get back in here. It looks like some technical issues, but that's okay. We're going to get it together. Just about 5 minutes before I came on, my internet just shut down. I had my husband in here. We was working it out. And so we got it on. So you guys come on in and enjoy our guest. Let's be respectful of her opinions as well. And we just going to have a good time tonight. So I'm going to bring her back in. It looks like she's ready. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. First of all, you're so pretty.
Oh,
You're so
thank
beautiful.
you.
Yeah, and thank you for coming. We are excited to have you here. And so you guys, we're gonna allow her to introduce herself formally, and then we're gonna just get right into this because we got a lot to talk about, and it's lit over here. So let's talk.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Thelma Anderson. I am formerly a prosecutor and a judge. I have been a lawyer, almost 10 years now. That's insane.
Amazing.
It's amazing. I now primarily do business consulting, where I transitioned after I left the district attorney's office into business because I was always an entrepreneur
Right.
through my entire existence as a prosecutor. So I transitioned to help entrepreneurs properly form and protect their business with the BYOB firm. It stands for Build Your Own Business. So I teach entrepreneurs and empower them how to do exactly what they would hire me to do so that they know exactly how to properly form and protect their business and only use lawyers for maintenance purposes. So that's what I've been doing primarily since leaving the district attorney's office, as well as I have my own platform, the Public Opinion Court,
Yes.
where I report on all major cases, whether it's the Diddy case or whether it's cases that are pending, like Tyler Perry. I break the news and go over the legal aspects of it so that individuals can understand. We often use our opinions as if it's law when our opinions are not the reality, but that's not the world we're living in. So
Absolutely.
I created that platform in order to educate and tone down the legal jargon, to break it down and simplify it for the average person outside of that are not in the legal world, which has helped me also become a legal analyst that I love doing as well. So that's pretty much a little bit in a nutshell, that tells you all who I am, what I do, and what I love doing.
Well, thank you for being here. You're amazing. We love what you do. We're just excited to have you. We're excited to see a Black woman just living in her purpose and doing her thing. So, congratulations on all that you have accomplished.
Thank
So,
you.
as you know, we reached out and we wanted to talk about the Diddy case because we're like wrapping up here this week and we have a lot of questions. We have a lot of opinions as well. And so, we just want to just jump in. So, you know, from the inception of this trial when it started
Yes.
up until today, I have been on the fence. Like I'm like, okay, yeah, no, I'm back on the fence. Okay, well, yeah, no, I'm back on the fence. What is your take from the beginning of this trial to today? Just give us the overview of how you're feeling about this trial.
Mm,
I
he
know.
put himself in a situation, and it's unfortunate that Diddy did not seek the actual help that he needed, and he allowed power to
Yes.
fuel his purpose. And unfortunately, when you do that, you make mistakes. You
Mhm.
make mistakes, and you also run into the the wrath,
Yes.
the wrath that a Black man in power who is wealthy oftentimes go through, which is someone coming in and say, "Oh, we about to come and take your wealth." You left
Woo.
the door wide open. And guess what? We come to collect. Not some, but all.
But all. That's the sad part about it. And we talk about this over here, that we look at our brothers, and some of our sisters build their wealth up, build empires for their families to be comfortable, and they're at the top of their game, and then it just crumbles down from the mistakes that they made over the years, and then it
Mhm.
comes back to bite them, just as you said. And so, do you feel like, if he's in the event that he is found guilty, does that mean everything, no matter whose name it's in? Like, how does that work?
So the government, what they do is they go in and they have a system that is more sophisticated than, I want to say, the state level. They have a system that is sophisticated that goes in and tracks and pinpoints and identifies and locates, and they know exactly which businesses, what the names are, where the money is hidden, who is hidden by. So it's going to be very hard for him to not lose everything, because we are in this space now, especially in the business world, where the African Americans are learning about the importance of trust, or the importance of purchasing
Right.
insurance policies. Well, guess what? We are just because we're just now catching on doesn't mean that that's not always been a thing.
Mhm.
But they are teaching that, oh, the government can't come in and confiscate that. What they're not saying is the government entity that they are speaking of is called the IRS, not the
Mm.
federal government. So
Mm.
whenever there's a crime, they can come in and grab whatever is relevant to the crimes that they have proved and you have been found guilty of.
Mhm.
So it's I really hate the aspect of him losing his wealth.
Me too.
I understand crime. Okay, cool. But the wealth was not attained during the time, because what they essentially are doing from 2009 up until 2024,
Uh-huh.
he had wealth prior
Right.
to that,
Mhm.
but they're also equating that wealth as if it was used to
Yeah.
facilitate these crimes. The crimes that they are speaking of, they have associated with two individuals, two, Cassie and Jane.
Yeah.
480 million, but he made the mistake. He should have settled, and
Yeah.
because he didn't settle, because he was in his ego or his drug induced state, that's why we're here.
Yeah. So you talk about, I'm glad you said drug induced, because, man, I got a lot of questions. And I'll go back to this one, but the drug induced one, right? So they're trying to say that maybe the reason that he did these things, or the reason that these things happened, is because he was intoxicated. Will his intoxication cause him to not know what he's doing? What do you think about that?
No.
Not gonna work.
So the law works two different ways with intoxication. An individual, for victims, it works in a favor of victims. So if a victim is intoxicated due to a controlled substance or alcohol, they can't legally consent.
Mhm.
But on the flip side, intoxication does not absolve you from committing a crime.
Yeah.
He
Well,
doesn't get the luxury of using alcohol or drugs, because this was a choice that you made in order for you ultimately ended up in this position. So that's more so why it doesn't work for defendants, but it more so leans for victims.
right. Okay. All right. So let's go back to his wealth. So when you say they have this intense way to find whatever he has, right? Does that mean even overseas, if there's something overseas, that they'll conjure as well?
So And this is the thing that people think, offshore accounts. Hey, if we have a treaty with a country, you best believe the federal government is going to contact and try to do everything in their power. But it's only to Black people. It's only going to be utilized for him.
That's how I
You're
feel.
you're going to utilize government resources, money, in order to go and get someone's wealth to bankrupt them or handicap them or take everything from them. That's something that I don't agree with, but they have the options.
So this means his kids are just out. Like it's pretty much just it's over.
Here's the thing, like if he set up a trust, let's say now the government is very selective.
Okay.
They're selective. Maybe they will have a heart
Mm-hmm.
because these children were born pre
Yeah.
these allegations ever forming. However, we won't know about Kim Porter because Kim Porter is not here to say. But what I do know is Kim Porter was having hotel nights with Diddy,
I heard that.
the same as with Cassie. But do I know if it was related to a freak off? No, but it's the same motive, plan, opportunity, intent. Looks similar? Yes. So they wouldn't I don't think that they would handicap the kids. I would hope not.
Hope not. Like I hope not, because it's not their fault that he was making those choices. They had no way to control that, and it would be really it would really harm their mental to end up with nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to move to today for a little bit. Today was a bunch of summary, the text messages, the voice messages that carried on from the week from Friday. We still got a little bit more to go tomorrow. Tell me, how effective are these summaries? And I was listening, and there were some points I was like, oh my God. So he's saying, hold her there, don't let her go, I'm gonna get her a suite, like those kind of things. So tell me what's up with the summaries and how are they effective for this trial?
They are effective because what essentially, and this is just something that I like to do as well, because people are visual learners. If this was 15 years ago, these charge diagrams, they just rely on people and their memory, and that doesn't work all the time. However, when you're looking at it from how massive and how long of a span that they need to refresh their memory, I understand how and why they did it this way. They waited to the end, and then the government strategically prolonged it in order to wait to show the freak off videos, right, so that it can be fresh in their mind. The testimony from the information regarding Cassie be fresh in their mind, because Cassie was 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
We're at the tail end. So what the summary witness is basically reminding them of the testimony and the evidence that they've heard thus far single-handedly. And they are combining it through a timeline so that they can see, oh, this goes with this witness goes with this during this time. Okay, this is what we have to prove. And they get to take that back in the jury room with them and look at it because it's exhibits.
I guess that is kind of brilliant in that, especially when you say, like, you're right, that was 6 weeks ago. Yeah, Cassie was effective to me, right? But that was 6 weeks ago, and I don't really remember everything Cassie said.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end, this is, oh yeah, this is what happened. Okay, absolutely. So with that said, is it smart for the defense to not bring witnesses? What is their method to their madness?
Well, honestly, the defense never has to bring anyone.
Okay.
The burden always and never leaves the government's table. So in retrospect, their case should be put on during the government's case. So you want to utilize their witnesses and turn them into defense witnesses. That is how defense get to put on their case without putting on a case. However, the one thing that I said from the beginning of this case, I said there are too many hands in the fire. There's too many hands in the pot. We learned that with the O.J. Simpson case. When you have too many hands in the pot, you are going to end up with the wrong recipe. And the recipe is the strategy you need to win your case. Ultimately, of course, Johnny, the GOAT, was able to get the lead that ultimately changed the direction of OJ's trial that led to the not guilty, because he placed just enough doubt. And he strategically used race at a time where it was the loudest.
Yes.
And it was effective. So with this particular case, it's the same way. Agnifilio and Garagos, to me, were the weakest on the Diddy's team.
Yep.
You have Steele, you had Westmoreland.
Yes.
And I keep forgetting the last
come on, Harlem, put it in there. She know. Who's the last one?
It was another black guy. He's from New York.
Yes.
Those are the three. If they would have used just those three strategy, because you can tell, because Westmoreland and Steele work together.
Right.
You can tell that they have that same strategy of wearing the witness out on cross-examination.
They killed it.
Between having their way.
Yeah.
It didn't happen the same way for Agnifilio and Teeny Garagos. They sucked. And I said, like, they are wasting time. Said there was no reason why Teeny Garagos should have cross-examined Jane Doe. She was horrible. She made a lot of mistakes as well. So it's really about the strategy. If the strategy would have been based off of how Steele was utilizing Cross, because he literally wore Mia out. Mia on direct examination was so credible. It was like the typical Caucasian woman who has been victimized by a black man. By the time Steele, a white man, got through with her, it was like, I got questions.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
That's where I was. Yes. Yeah. As a prosecutor, as a prosecutor, can you tell me why KK is not here?
She's stupid.
She gonna get it.
It's not a matter of the government, it's her.
So you think that they talked to her and she just declined? Because I cannot imagine. I'm sorry. I can't imagine, like, you ask my people in here, I'm like, the KK better get here. Like, where's KK? You know, and then she don't show up. So this is on KK.
She is finished. And here's the thing. She would have had the ability to get immunity.
That's what I thought she was gonna do.
She knew where every limb, every limb, every nerve, every organ, was buried.
Yep.
But she wanted to play, the Epstein.
Yes. Ghislaine Maxwell.
I kind of feel like they may have had some rumblings or something, because they were a little too close and she was a little too jealous of the women. And I'm like,
Jane talked about that. Jane and her did not get along for some reason. Jane even said, I don't know why she don't like me, but we don't get along. Don't tell me. Okay. Something. All right. With okay, so let's kind of go back and look at the witnesses really quick. I don't know how much time you got. If we have to do a part 2, we can do that. But let's look at if you have time. But let's look at the witnesses. Particularly, I want to look at Jane and Cassie, and I want to look at Mia and Bonner. Okay, let's start with Cassie. How effective do you think Cassie's testimony was? Okay, we already know she got the lawsuit, she won the money, but then she comes to this trial and she testifies anyway, even after getting, making the deal or whatever. What are your thoughts about Cassie at this point and how effective it is for this trial?
Cassie, if I had to pick the most nail in the coffin testimony, it would be hers. From a standpoint of, you look at how he groomed her, and how he used her age as a factor in how he was targeting and preying on her, and how she went through every possible incident, whether it made her look like a victim or like a consensual partner. But because she was so forthcoming, because she was so credible, without her testimony, they have no case.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Of everybody that they brought forward, without Cassie, there's no case.
None.
Okay. And then, y'all, my thing is dying here. Don't do this to me. Okay. All right. And then, so that's Cassie. We know we needed Cassie. So then what about Bonner? Like, for me, if I can say, I believed her, but I don't know that she helped or hurt anything.
It's the government's fault. So you have to prep your witnesses. You know what type of witness you have before they take the stand. And they did not do a good job with leading her to what they needed to. So in retrospect, her memory, they should have, instead of having her recall these dates, on direct examination, you get to lead your witness to, like, to the standpoint, not lead as in like I'm telling you exactly what to say. Do you recall on September the 30th? Well, no, I really don't recall. Well, would it help me if I show you? Would it help you for me to refresh your memory? They didn't do none of that. They left that girl out on a desert island, and she got ate up on cross-examination for her memory. All it takes is one issue for the defense to see a weakness, and they're going to go in and dig in, and they're going to put lemon, hot sauce, salt, and pepper in there, and then they're going to start grinding it. And that's exactly what Westmoreland grind that girl's memory until it couldn't be grinded no more.
It was so crazy to the point I was just like, let her go. Just let her off the stand. Y'all, hold on one quick second. I need to change my charger really quick. I don't want us to. Can you bring your charger to your laptop? To this laptop. It has to be to your work laptop. Okay. Y'all, give me 1 second. I gotta grab the charger. There are some questions in the chat. Can you see the chat? Because I think one of the questions was, does this mean KK is going to be indicted?
KK is going to be indicted. They have already, so they have unindicted co-conspirators. So what essentially is going to happen when this case is over, when you look at individuals like D-Rock, you look at individuals like KK, you look at individuals who have been named that had such, Fahim, you look at him. These are individuals who are looking to become unindicted co-conspirators. You have the drug dealers who may have not consented or decided that they were not going to participate, they may become may be a part of the unindicted co-conspirators. That is going to be revealed upon the conclusion of this case. Yes, Paulie, Roger Bonds, like Roger Bonds stated that he didn't have anything to do with it, but Cassie said otherwise. So I didn't, unless I saw you testify, everybody that was named as participating and facilitating and being a part of it, and they did not show up to testify, they should be concerned.
D-Rock should be concerned. Fahim should be concerned, right? Mm-hmm. Where's Fahim? Is he still in? He should be concerned. What are your thoughts on Robin with TriStar?
Oh, because she definitely.
She was on the text messages. She knew that this was not for business.
She's definitely not going to be a CPA anymore. Whatever doctor facilitated those prescriptions. Yeah, everybody's on the
Polly who took her to Central Park and then held her in a building. So why is it today of all days? Why is it today they're saying that he is going to file a 29 mistrial? What do they call it? Hold on. I'm seeing all over the place that he is going to be charging a rule. They're going to be filing a Rule 29 to mistrial.
That's typical. Mean? So here's the thing. Federal case has even though state level trials are just as pivotal, federal, especially when you have an individual such as Diddy, has a heightened sense of awareness for lawyers. Uh-huh. So you want to make sure that you, as the lawyer, don't do anything that can result in an appeal for ineffective assistance of counsel. Mm-hmm, so what they're essentially doing is making sure that their ducks are covered, because they want to have the ability to show the record. Oh, we did absolutely everything. They want to find an error on the government side, because that's the only thing that could give him any kind of credence for an appeal. An appeal is going to be filed. That's just standard. Yeah. And he has a right to. I just haven't seen anything in a trial outside of the issue with the juror.
That's my next question. Yeah. About the jurors. Is that cause for mistrial?
No. They have. So what a lot of people don't know is you can't discriminate on a juror based off race, gender, sexual orientation, age. You can't discriminate on those factors. Because he made it to the jury, they're going to have a hard time in trying to determine or say that the judge ruling rises to the level of racial removal of a Black juror, because the defense, of course, wants him on there. He's one of the only African Americans. He's 41 years old. He grew up in the era that Diddy's grown up in. He knows, the kinks and things that have been, made accessible to the community. Is no longer the standalone sexual desires. It's the wicked desires. So you will want someone instead of a 57-year-old white woman that he got replaced with on the jury. So that could render an issue, and that could be the only thing, because the Breonna's memory.
No,
they rehabbed it.
I don't remember. Yeah. If you was the prosecutor on this case, what would you have done differently? Because I feel like their game should have been a little bit stronger than what it was. Like right today, we shouldn't be questioning whether or not this man walks or not. If they had a little bit stronger strategy, what would you have done differently?
I would have stuck to the sex trafficking and transportation.
Because that's
To,
clear.
to charge someone with a RICO, I call it the freaky RICO.
Yeah.
To charge somebody with a freaky RICO, that has never been done. And for a person to have the ability to lose their fortune over it, when some of the encounters were consensual. And I said, I have also a position that we can walk away from situations.
Mm-hmm.
We can but these are individuals who are not rooted in God to know that who's the head and who's the tail. They would have knew Diddy was the tail. Diddy was not of God. So you are worried about a man that does not have the power that God has, because if you would have respected the power of God, you would have known that this would have been the outcome.
Absolutely. But he became of God when that lawsuit came out. He praised the Lord. I need to kill
He lied. He lied. Remember, he lied on that video.
Yeah, he did.
I've been in prayer with TD Jakes, and I'm like, TD Jake, like, how I get in it?
Yeah, he said, I've been in that man for 30 minutes. I was in his house for 30 minutes, he said. Not even that, and I'm in it.
I think he got some on. I hope, because he name dropped TD Jakes, and I'm like, TD Jakes did not come out and cover and respond to and say, no, he didn't call me.
The other day we were here live, we were chatting about that, and I was like, and Montana's in here too, and I was like, y'all know what? I want to tend to believe that TD Jakes didn't do, like, they didn't have that. They just talking, and he was like, I believe it. Like, he meant it. He was like, I believe something happened.
Something happened.
But you never know. Like, if you look across this industry, the people, the powers that be, this is their MO. Like, this is what they're doing. When I say casting couch, there is a casting couch that if you want to level up in the business or be an actor, whatever, you're going to sit on that couch and do what they tell you to do. Just like Tyler Perry. I want to believe, like, no, this ain't. Oh, but then as all this stuff unfolds, everybody doing the same thing. With the power. There's a question. Go ahead.
Two things can be true. It could have happened. Trying to get with a person, that could be true. And it could also be true that he was not forced. He stayed in the situation. He extorted the situation. Mm-hmm. So two things can be true in that situation. I think that Tyler has the better defense out of everyone.
You do?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, you got to come back for that one. We're going to have to talk about that. All right. So I have a question in the chat. She said, what is the actual time frame or years for RICO? She said, I thought I saw 10 years, but they went back 15, and the jury instruction talks of count one being 5 years. So I wanted to talk about that. I'm glad Harlem put that in. Did you get the question? Uh-oh, did she freeze on us?
My signal was shot for a second. Oh yeah, so the
did you get the question?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So with RICO, it starts at a minimum of 20 years. 20 years to life. The minimum starts. So if you are convicted of RICO, the minimum you can get is 20 years. The max is life. How they get to life is all of the underlying factors like sex trafficking, transportation. It was one more that they had on there. And proving the elements of racketeering, there's ways that they get it to life. It'll be automatic life, not just okay, we're going to decide. It'll be an automatic sentence of life if they hit these I would say the bonus points of the counts that need to get them there. So when you take a look at why they're doing this summary, because they want to hit them bonus points.
Mm-hmm. God, that's crazy. That is crazy, because I heard also today, I be strolling these streets, and I'll be, just to try to see what is being said. She's froze again on us. You back?
Oh, I'm here.
Oh, okay, you hear me? So they're talking about the statute of limitation on some of these charges. Like, is any of this? But they're saying though, the reason that they really put the statute of limitations in there is because this is under the RICO charge. I'm confused with that. So they're saying, like,
so here's the thing. When you
mm-hmm.
Can you hear me?
I can now.
Am I froze again?
Yeah, you're froze on here, but I can
So
hear you
what
talking.
typically happens? Okay, you can hear me? Okay. What typically happens is there's some underlying exceptions.
It's
when
cutting
you
out.
take a look at the continuation.
Okay, it's back.
Hold on.
It's back.
Okay. When you take a look at the continuation of the criminal enterprise, that is what furthers the attachment to draw out the statute of limitation. So if he would have stopped with Cassie in 2018, that statute of limitation. But because they have added, it gives it an extension cord and a continuation. So that's how they were able to. That's why it's in the furtherance of a criminal enterprise, because he didn't stop. He continued. He extended it out.
Yes. Oh, see, so these are his. I be feeling sorry for him when I be looking at him, and then I look at his kids and I look at his mom. I'm like, oh, but I mean, like, you gotta be like, when you have that kind of power, you gotta be, first of all, careful who you allow next to you, careful about how you move and shake in these streets and the decisions that you're making, because they're watching. And so what I think happened is, it happened for over so many for so long, over 20, 30 years. He just didn't realize this was going to catch up with him. He was scot-free is what he thought.
Yeah.
And that's crazy.
It was more to it. It was more to it, because what a lot of people haven't talked about are the exhibits that were utilized in his hearing when he got picked up.
Right.
Diddy knew he was being investigated. We didn't know he was being investigated. We assumed. They had email communication with his attorneys that talked about travel and arrangements and doing all of these things and turning over passports during the April, May, June, July period. And these were also the times when he was continuing to do these hotel nights. And in the motion, one of the reasons why the judge did not let him make bond is while he was out, knowing he was under investigation, there was witness tampering. So they could not chance him being out, because while he was out, knowing he had the the federal government don't have to give you the courtesy of knowing you are being investigated. Right. They can send you a target list. They don't have to tell you. They gave him the courtesy to know that he was being investigated. And he decided that, oh, I know, but I'm Diddy. I'm the captain of this ship.
Right. His ego got him, because and what's so crazy now, listen, they done kicked in both of your houses on both coasts. They done found all this evidence, and they still got you in a hotel with you still doing all that, because Jane already said she was on her way there to do some freak offs. She was getting ready to get on a flight to that hotel when they got him that night.
Yep.
No. Oh, don't. Are we back? Everybody here?
Yeah, I can see.
Ooh, this internet is tripping for some reason. Before I wanted to let you go
Yeah,
at 8. I didn't know how much time you had, but if I've dropped the link in the chat, if anybody wants to come up and ask her a few questions before she goes, I know I could talk forever with her. I love your answers. It's just bringing light to my understanding, because as I said, I was on the fence, and then I jumped off. I was like, oh yeah, come on, prosecution got this. And I was like, what? I'm back on the fence, because one big thing was that Jane never gave the impression that she was not wanting to do it, that she wanted to do it because she wanted time with him. And so people were saying, well, she's like a willing participant. What do you think about that? Like, she was willing because she wanted time with him, but she didn't really want to do the freak offs. But if this is what I got to do to be with him, then I'm going to do it.
I mean, yeah, here's the thing. He knew how to manipulate the situation. He knew how to use that to his advantage.
And she's lost. So far, so good, y'all. Good conversation. Is everybody here? I don't know what's going on with the internet. It kicked her off. I love the question. I hope she come back. I was gonna allow you guys up if she comes back to ask questions if you want to, or I can continue reading them for you. But it's a good conversation, and I really appreciate her. If you guys will please go over and follow her on the Public Opinion Court, we would appreciate it, because we appreciate her time. You back?
Yes.
Okay.
What's going on? I don't know.
So we got just about a little under 15, about 13 more minutes with you. We don't want to keep you, too long. But the other question was, can they really be willing under the influence? Because he kept them under the influence.
No. And that's the thing. California alone has a statute that says any individual who is under the influence cannot consent. They have their own statute, and the statute is very clear, and it's no wiggle room around it. And they are probably one of the very few states that has something so clear cut to know you essay someone who's under the influence. That's essay.
Straight up and down. It doesn't matter, because for me, but me anyway, also no means no. Like, there was a lot of times she was like, no, and he just kept on, to where I guess her love was that deep that she went ahead and did it. And then for him to jump on them, to beat them when they don't, there's a lot to this that people are still saying this man is gonna walk, but I just don't see how he's gonna walk.
I mean, here's the thing. I think the one thing that I've learned, and I always tell people, justice doesn't always have to come in a form of a conviction. It can come from the form of the inconvenience that you are put through in order for justice to be done that satisfies God. It don't have to satisfy man. So walks, we have to look at it from a standpoint. He had to sit in federal custody for almost a year. Yeah. He wasn't subjected to the luxuries that he once had.
Right.
He's going to ultimately handicap any kind of growth that he would have in the future. Are people still going to support him? Absolutely. The world doesn't stop. When somebody commits a crime, you have to be prepared for people to still support them. That is not going to change. You cannot say you need to. No, it's going to happen. However, sometimes God will put you through what you think is your doomsday, and he will rise you up depending on how obedient you were during the process.
Ooh-wee. What do you think about him? Now, Diddy's Diddy, right? He's just stood up in front of the court, took a glass of water, turned around, looked at him, nodding his head at the jurors. Like, is this ego thing, ego trip, like trying to reel people in on the slide?
I've never seen it happen.
I've never seen this happen.
I've never seen it happen. So for it to happen, and I will tell you this, his lawyers know what he's doing.
That's right.
Obvious.
That's why when we were talking the other day, we said, if you don't tell nobody else the truth, you got to tell your lawyers the truth so they know everything, but they doing their job. They got to come and fight for them, right? Because that's their job, but they know. And I don't even know that they feel like, well, I'm hearing that they're like, we got this nipped in the bud, like he's going to walk. Like, that's just something they have to say because they got to support their client.
Listen, behind the closed doors, they know.
They know.
They know they screwed. They know. I would be sad if I'm looking for the best outcome.
Mm-hmm.
I feel the best outcome is not for them to find him not guilty of the RICO, regardless of how outstanding in evidence I know that they have proven.
Yeah.
I just don't believe they should have went after him for RICO.
Okay.
I would be satisfied with the sex trafficking and the transportation because there's evidence that proves that those counts. Now, in who specifically? Probably just Cassie.
Okay.
And that to me gives the government even the opportunity to still go after the max on the sex trafficking, which I mean the minimum is 15, the max on the transportation is 10. So he's not going to do any time.
Right.
It's not going to take his life and his fortune away.
Right.
That's how I would split the baby if I'm on the jury.
I think so too, because I'm with you. Like, my heart, I just don't want his kid to suffer. I don't want his kids to suffer. They don't deserve that. For everything that he's done, he has to pay for we all do. We can't just walk around and not pay for the things that we've done. He's got to pay, but I just don't want his kids to have to pay with it, along with it. We're almost at the end of these questions. We could keep you forever. We appreciate you. The other question she had, because I want you to give your social media sites, but she said the question was merely, could they charge him for other things that come up? Because there are so many other things. And so maybe if he did, let's just say he walked, there's other things that have come since he's been locked up.
So there is behind the scenes conversations, but this is when an individual wants to plead. They will make an agreement not to come after them for anything else that may pop up in an investigation, whether it's tied to it or not. In this particular case, because they did not have more victims come forward, and because they have interviewed other sex workers and found them to not be beneficial to their case, the only thing that I can see them coming for is him on IRS, like from tax evasion.
Yeah.
You have money laundering, because that has been discussed. Things from that nature, wire fraud.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Okay. 2 more questions, I promise, and we'll be done. The one that she had was, like, what about Keefe even calling him out on the Tupac thing? And they're like, they're closer to the Tupac thing. And there was one more I really want. Do you think Cassie's going to get more money?
So on the Keefe D.
Oh, there was one more. Dang.
Keefe D. He needs to worry about them finding him not guilty of the cold case of Tupac. So what he's saying, unless he got proof that Diddy hired him,
that's what I say.
He needs to focus and be delivered on that end, because he got fish to fry that he ain't even got to the basket to cool off on. So that
Yeah.
As far as Cassie stands to make a lot of money. So she's already gotten money on the settlement side of Diddy. So she won't be going to civil court to sue him because they've already settled.
Right.
She's got money from the hotel who is liable. Yeah. Her next thing now is to release her book.
Yeah.
Release her book. That book is going to make her even more money because that was the plan all along, was to write this book. But
especially
now
if she makes it an audible, if she reads it.
Not only an audible, a documentary.
A documentary.
So she has options, but I don't know if that's something that she wants to explore because of how heavy. This is something that's so heavy that she's still in her healing phase.
Yes.
So I would want her to take time to enjoy the simplicity of life and and her daughters growing and allowing that love to grow and nurture with her family.
Yeah, I agree.
She has been vindicated, whether people want to vindicate her or not. She showed up for herself. She won by just showing up.
Yeah, and that was the hard thing to do.
That's the hard thing to do. Now, who do stand to get money is Jane. Jane Doe stands to get money if he is convicted of the sex trafficking count on her particular case. Just because she hasn't filed a civil suit, she can take the judgment from the jury that found him guilty of her count to a civil court, still file a civil suit based off of the judgment. And what will happen is the judge is required in California to adhere to the verdict and the guilt of the sex trafficking charge, that if he's found guilty for hers. And in return, the only thing that would be up for discussion is how much money would she be awarded if he's found guilty of sex trafficking. So for a lot of these victims that decided not to show up, they missed out on an easy walk to civil court. So it may not be as slow as we think.
That's crazy. Okay, if it's a mistrial or a hung jury, what happens?
They're going to try it again.
They'll just try it again. All right. We have so many more, but we're going to let you go. You know, it's about 8 o'clock over there on your, or 9 o'clock on your end over there. We appreciate you so much, and we hope that you come back. You're welcome here anytime.
Absolutely. I would love to. And thank you for allowing me to be on your.
So hopefully after we get a verdict, we can get back together and talk about that. Absolutely. Go ahead and tell them how we can reach you on all social media sites.
Okay, so you can reach me on for Instagram and fan base. I'm under Loria Bay ESQ. In fan base, I have an audio room that I do every night, 8:30 Central Standard Time, where we basically break down the case. You can follow me on, subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Public Opinion Court. Also, that's the name of my TikTok account, where in real time I put up breaking news, breaking down just the most talked about issues that are going on. So those are, in theory, how you can follow me, how you can connect to me, DM me, you can ask a question, do all of those things.
Okay. Thank you again so much for your time. We enjoyed you, and hopefully, like I said, when the verdict ends, I'm gonna be pulling on your tailcoat, like, come see us. Okay. Thank you so much.
Have a great night.
Have a good night. All right, y'all. So we got a few more minutes if y'all want to chit chat a little bit about what you think. Do I need to drop the link again? Welcome, Cherry. Hi. Sorry you got in a little late, but hello, everybody. Thank y'all for being here. Hit the like. We got more guests coming as we progress. So this was a really good conversation. She had some really good answers. She helped me even to understand some things that I didn't understand. And so I appreciate her time, and I hope that you guys go follow her and listen to her as well. Let's see what else. I was interested in knowing, about KK, and so it looks like either KK is going to be indicted or something. KK don't just get to walk free on this one. So sorry, I missed. I'll have to. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I understand everybody's busy, but yes, if you missed the our live, you can also look at the replay. It's really good. She has some really good stuff for us. And I'm definitely gonna have her back after we get a verdict. So basically, she's saying that even if it's the hung jury, they're going to retry the case, and I think they're going to use a very different approach if that happens again. If they have to retry the case, there's going to be a very different approach from the prosecution. I think what I appreciated also from her is that she helped us understand that, KK probably, they did have a conversation with KK. KK probably refused, their offer because of whatever reasons. But, like she said, KK got every inch, every vein, every crumble, everything about him. She knows it, and she was involved. And so that's to come. We will see what's going to happen with KK. Hey, Harlem girl.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good. She has a lot of good info because she answered a lot of my questions before I even put them in the chat.
Did she?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like sitting here writing it down. I had a whole list of questions, but as you ask the question, then other things come up. She did really good. She's really brilliant. She's really smart. I didn't know she was a judge too.
Yeah, she said a prosecutor and a judge.
Smart young lady.
Yeah. I was surprised though about the well, I guess maybe not surprised about the children not getting anything. Like the government would seize everything if he's found guilty.
Right. And so, like she said, me too. And like she said, hopefully they'll have some kind of grace for the kids, because these kids was born into wealth. They didn't come here experiencing some of the things some of us have experienced. That will throw them into shock. Like,
Yeah.
I just don't know how their mental would be. And then I just don't know. So I hope that I hope they give him grace if he's found guilty and not take everything from him.
Yeah, because I don't know, because none of them have anything really going except for maybe Quincy. Quincy has, his music, and he has some merchandise out and whatever. But the other ones, I don't see where they have anything really going.
Yeah, Quincy's the light skinned one, right? Albie Shores, or is it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll be
so
sure his son.
him, I think he know how to go get it. And people love him. People, like, I was watching him and they follow him hard. They follow him real bad. So he'll be okay, but I'm sure he'll look out for his family, and just they're gonna have to figure it out if that was to happen. And maybe they have a
Right.
plan. Maybe they're like, no, we got a plan. It's okay. We're gonna figure this out. So
I
that's my
finally
hope.
made it up here.
Hey, Montana. It was good though. It was really good talk conversation. Um few people came in. I was hoping for more questions, but she just kind of answered a lot of questions today. Like, I was really concerned about like what Jane's role really was, how, like, did it really matter? And I think it did matter somewhat for Jane to be here. So
I learned a lot that, I learned more than I learned in a long time.
yeah, she was good.
She's pretty good.
And very precise. Like, she made
Hmm.
it where you could understand what she was saying, like a lot of stuff. I'm like, okay, but what does that mean? And I really was able to follow her. So after Friday, if we get a verdict, we'll have her right on again, and then we'll have other guests as well. But I hope y'all enjoyed it. I was just excited for that.
Oh yeah, like I say, I had 2 pages of questions, but all my questions she answered them before I put them in the chat.
I did too,
So
Harlem. I had like 2 pages. My grandson's regular call. Hold on for just 1 second. Let me tell him I'm live.
Okay.
I just like to see successful black people. That's all.
Right. Right. What is this comment you put in here though?
Cause she do look like Gabrielle Union.
Oh, you thought she looked like Gabrielle?
Uh huh. And you know, faces look like Whitney Houston.
Okay, you a mess.
You kept harassing me to hit the link, so that's why I told you to leave me alone.
Whatever.
So I
If
finally
I
hit the
join,
link.
you gotta join.
But how you gonna tell me to hit the link and you ain't hit it yet?
Yeah, because I was about to hit it, so that meant that you should hit it too, so we could join together.
You always try to bully me in the chat.
I'm gonna block you. I'm gonna block you. How about
So
that?
today's court. So for me, it was a bunch of like she was saying, a bunch of confirmation of everything they been talking about, just saying that yes, this really happened and here's the proof. I hope that she said she only needed an hour with him tomorrow. So I think just take your hour and let's be done with that part. They said the jurors were going to sleep today in court.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yikes.
I went to sleep
Yeah, I
So
too
think
all
they
these
over
weeks.
with it.
I done
what
went
you
to
say?
sleep too. I said I done went to sleep too all these weeks, and then you ain't getting paid or nothing but a little couple of little dollars a day.
Yeah, especially I mean, the summary to me was really good information. Like I wanted to hear those conversations, and they actually showed the freak offs, and they actually showed they went all the way in. But the jurors are just like, and that's what scares me about the jury because they're ready, they're done, they're over it. So
Listen, them
now,
jurors ready to go back to work.
yeah, they ready, right? They ready to go. Like, let us go.
Shoot.
Let us go. Tired of coming over here every day. But it's
Yeah,
interesting.
because the holiday weekend is coming. It's going to be the weekend here is coming.
Yes.
They're gonna deliberate, and they may try to just hurry up and get through it with the holiday weekend coming up.
I believe that because they're tired of sitting here and they got their family they want to be with. Some probably had plans to go somewhere and be somewhere for that. And that's the scary part about it is that the holidays coming and that's what they thinking about. And if they in there
And then,
falling asleep,
and then
they're
you in there
crazy.
with jackets zipped up to your neck because I know it's cold in there. It air pumping.
Yeah, I know one of the people I follow, he's like, I'm not wearing no suit in here no more. It's too hot when I walk out this door. Our wig laces is coming up. It's hot. So they ready to go home. They ready to go home.
I'm
But
talking about inside that courtroom, they got that air pumping.
oh, they say it's
Yeah,
cold.
Yeah, you got to wear earmuffs in that mug.
Yeah, they said it's freezing in there.
yeah, but they said that Diddy was wiping his face like he was sweating when they was showing the
They
tape.
said they said he took his glasses off, put them back on, dropped something on the floor. He got nervous. One of the YouTubers said he saw the actual freak off. Now,
Hmm,
how did he see that in
I don't
court?
know.
I was like,
I
I
thought that they blocked the public screens.
did too. So at least unless he eased over, because he's sitting behind Diddy now. Unless he eased over and and saw it, I don't know.
But somebody said that the attorney screens were turned off too because they turned to the public. So
Oh,
it was only the jurors that were seeing it. So I don't know if they actually
oh
saw
how
anything.
yeah, I don't know how he would see that then.
That just crazy how the air all the put like Cassie, like you just so nasty how the day everybody just seen all your goods.
Yep. And that's
Yeah.
embarrassing. That's what she was fighting that her friend for, supposed to be her brother. Like, give me this tapes. Like, I don't like she didn't want that stuff to get out. She did not want that to be out. But now, it's a whole trial and everything goes. We got to show it all.
But you knew it was being recorded.
in that phone call that leaked, she was like, "Did I look like I knew it was being recorded?" Why did he say, "Yeah, you look like you knew"? She was like, "No, I didn't, and that was not me." Like she didn't know. But
I mean,
Diddy records everything.
but at the end of the day, as grown folks, this is something kids do. As grown folks, you know, any sexual encounters that you have with a partner, you don't let nobody record it because you know one day it's gonna leak out when he fall out with you or you fall out
Right.
with her.
That's
It's
right.
gonna eventually leak out.
And it'll be seen. Yeah. You're right. You're
But they
right.
say that there was one tape where she looked like she was out of it. She was unconscious.
Oh wow.
So
Probably.
yeah, she probably didn't want that stuff to come out because of
Shoot,
the fact,
seven
her
shit.
parents didn't know what was going on.
I'll
Right.
be unconscious. I'll be unconscious too. You going for 72 hours?
And on all kind of rubs. Like anything he brought in there, you taking it? 72 hours. How do you how? Gosh, that's a lot of like I feel sorry for him. I
Yeah,
do.
Tasha K put up a clip. She has another interview with another escort.
Oh,
The
she do?
escort says, yeah, it was him and another guy. It was like a marathon thing. They were seeing who lasted the longest, and he
Who won?
lasted the longest.
Diddy did?
I,
It's that
the
Cialis.
guy, this
Oh,
guy that's on
God.
the that Tasha K interviewed. It was two escorts that they did the marathon session, and it was to see which one could last the longest. One of the guys testified, I forgot what his name was, the guy that testified like early on. He
Uh-huh.
was one of the guys, and then this guy that Tasha K interviewed. After the session was over, the guy he passed out. He couldn't do it no more. And this one that Tasha K has the interview with, he was able to last until everything was over.
Hell,
And I tell you, I just can't. I can't
a
with them.
marathon.
He came back all the time because Cassie thought that he was the best.
Oh, well, you didn't get his name?
I don't know what the name was because
Right.
she put up clips. She didn't put up the whole thing. She put up just like little clips.
Yeah, that's right. Because you got to go to her.
Her app.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, to see it. Yeah. Okay. Ooh, that's gonna be good. That's gonna be a good
Mm,
one.
If y'all have any
yeah.
questions in the chat, just ask Harlem. She don't miss nothing. She on point
Oh
with
my god.
everything.
This was good. It was so good. I loved it. So we
I'm
working on
just nosy like that.
me too, Harlem. Don't even worry because I am too. I won't say no. But anyway, we'll go for now, but we're gonna have a couple more guests I'm working on. And then we'll come back live every day this week. And Friday, most of the day we'll be live if in fact we're gonna be waiting on a verdict. So that's gonna be good. Anything else, y'all,
Okay.
before we go?
Did you look at the Wendy Williams stuff?
Yes, I want to come on and just talk about that stuff soon. Let's pick a day, and I just want to
Oh
talk about
Lord,
that.
not Wendy.
It's so sad,
Yeah.
Montana.
What
You
happened to
got
Wendy?
it. What
It's
did
a
it?
lot.
They
I,
just that's so
I
so
don't. I
sad.
don't. I don't feel bad for her because I ain't never liked her. I thought she was nosy too, all up in everybody's business. You need to worry about your husband that was cheating on you, but you
But
trying to
that
find
was
Oh
out tea about other people's
God.
relationships.
her job. Montana was to be in people's business. How she got paid?
Then she got that.
Right.
Then she got that doggone big that big chest with that little body. Come on now.
Do not talk about my friend. Do not do that. Don't do that. Oh my God. Yo, listen, Montana, be nice.
Yeah, he should be nice.
She's in distress and you're talking about her. Where'd he go? Is it crickets now? You ain't got nothing to say?
Nah, I'm here. I just ain't like her because she always was in people business. The way she
Yeah,
be in it.
that's
But
how.
that was her job.
Then you got then you giving people relationship advice and your whole relationship tell.
Yeah, but she was getting the coins. That's how she was getting her bag. That's what me and Harlem be over here in people business.
You remember when she was
Mm.
sick? You know when she took that time out when she was sick. You know, I feel
Yeah.
bad for when she was sick, but I was glad that we needed a break.
Oh gosh, poor Wendy. Well, we
But you
gonna
know,
talk
Wendy was the first
about
one
it.
to expose Puffy.
I just wish she would have lasted for that long because
Hmm.
she wanted to tell it. She wanted to tell it. So like if they was allowing her just to have a podcast, right? Just let her have an hour a week or 2 hours an hour each night, twice a week, and let her get that out. We won't know. She knows some stuff. Just like
Yes, she does.
she knows something about R. Kelly too.
She knows something about everybody.
I was just going to say that, Harlem. She knows something about everybody. Do you think Cassie's going to give? Oh yeah, we already asked that. Okay. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna go. We'll come back tomorrow. I'll see y'all here tomorrow if you have time and can be here. We always doing our research. If you have information for us, you can get it to Harlem or myself, and we'll be glad to take a look at it. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way out if you didn't do it on your way in, and also become a member because it's gonna get even juicier with the more guests we have. We're gonna have to have a members only room, so you got to get your membership. Other than that, you guys, y'all have a good night and I'll see y'all tomorrow, okay?
This the earliest live we had in Black Link history.
Yes, it is.
This
Do
is
y'all
le-
know earlier?
this is legendary.
Yes. 7 o'clock and we was on time. Do you
Yeah.
like earlier? Do y'all like me to come earlier or you want to stay late?
It don't matter to me.
Okay.
It doesn't matter to me.
Okay.
But you know, it was one night that you came early. I just don't remember what time it was that you had a good crowd.
It was on a Saturday night and we had came earlier.
But yeah, I don't care
Maybe
what
let's
time you
just
come. You know I'm gonna
okay.
be there.
We'll weigh it out. So I'm gonna go earlier the rest of the week and see what happens because it got up to quite a bit tonight too. Don't
Yeah,
forget
they were just bouncing in and out.
bouncing in and out, which that's fine. Come in, hit the like and go if you want to. But anyway, thank
Yeah.
y'all for being here and let's keep rolling. Let's keep going up.
All right. Good night, y'all.
All right, good night.